Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I want to talk to the worker who is tired, confused, overwhelmed, and trying to decide what to do next when it comes to work. Because many of you are not angry enough. You're just not angry enough. And I don't mean angry in a reckless way. We've seen angry in a reckless way, homicides, suicides, driving cars too fast, and shootouts. These were all career oriented people who were angry, but angry in a reckless way. I mean, you're not angry enough to pay attention to what options and what ways and what paths are set before you. You're not angry enough to stop normalizing what is hurting you. You sit there and you want someone else to do the changing. You sit there and you blame everyone else for what's happening to you, but you're not angry enough to make the change you want to see. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. That was a perfect time. I mean, if you guys are just like reliving and reloving Michael Jackson, like I thank God for his presence here on earth. But I want you to be angry enough to stop normalizing what is hurting you. Be angry enough to ask better questions before your body, your spirit, your mind, your ethics, and your health begin breaking down. Do you know theories and science is catching up with autoimmunities being secondary to repressed emotions, unaddressed stress crises? Who benefits from that? Not you. That is why work fatigue is available for today's workforce. Work fatigue is chronic job stress that has begun. Let me see, did I say that? That is why, that is what work fatigue is when your body begins to break down because you don't have enough information, courage, strength, wherewithal to do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing because maybe you think somebody else is supposed to do it. Work fatigue is chronic job stress that has begun to affect you mentally, emotionally, physically, ethically, and spiritually. And this past week, we talked about what happens when work no longer is just annoying, but it's affecting your life and your health. This week, I read from Operation Mental Health practical lessons on career burnout and recovery. We talked about FMLA, we talked about STD, we talked about ADA, we talked about what happens when your doctor approves your leave, but the disability claim is denied. We talked about what happens when FMLA is approved, ADA is requested, and suddenly HR starts acting different. We talked about what happens when work is the reason you are breaking down. We talked about anxiety, workplace discrimination, workplace depression, unsafe conditions, moral distress, and the hardest part about FMLA, deciding what to say. A lot of workers are not just tired, they are scared. They are scared to tell the truth about what is happening at work because they know the minute they open their mouth, the system may start treating them differently. My mama told me when I was younger that when you tell the truth, then when you awaken the wolf. When you tell the truth, you awaken the wolf. And your role is to be as sheep amongst wolves not sheep for the wolf, not a wolf disguised as a sheep or a sheep disguised as a wolf. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that when you take the truth to the system, you will awaken the wolf. Period. But that's that that's what happens. But you're still supposed to tell the truth. You're still supposed to walk in light. I know what it feels like to tell that truth, to be as a sheep among wolves. I was angry about what was happening to me. My colleagues saw it, my friends saw it, the words I would hear from leaders in the workplaces. Clene, I see what you're saying, but my hands are tied. Hmm. I see what you're saying, but I'm sorry, I can't help you. I was angry about the way I was being treated, dismissed, and discarded while I was still trying to access my workplace rights and stay in alignment with Yahweh. My burnout, my risk of burnout sent me into the church. The pastor told me, girl, you better keep that good job. And people told me to let go. Attorneys told me to let go. Friends told me to let go. But what exactly did they want me to let go? The wrong done to me? First off, they act like they don't know I'm from the hood. I don't let nothing go. I'm getting my lick back, you know? If you know, you know. I'm getting my lick back. But my lick back was not destruction. My lick back was purpose. My lick back was obedience. My lick back was taking the passion they told me to suppress and build a whole resurrected nursing platform from it. Because what happened to me is happening to too many. And I'm not only survived with my life, I survived with my passion and my talents and my ability to continue to create, to become and to continue to be a vessel, an instrument used by the Creator. I would not be able to do that. You will not be able to do that when you let go, when your anger is in destruction, when your anger is not turned to focus and passion. You will be discarded, corporate waste. Don't let that happen to yourself. This is why I keep saying before burnout, there is work fatigue. Before breakdown, there are signs. Before resignation, there are questions. Before the diagnosis, there is context. Before you enter the medical system, the legal system, disability, workers' comp, HR, the ADA conversation, you need to slow down, pump your brakes, sis, and understand what you are actually dealing with. These people are have smiles on their face, pens in their hand, they're kind and masterful with words, but they are hired to represent the organization, to protect the image of the organization. This is not a bad thing. This is the game. You got to play the game, or you will be played by the system. It's not personal until it becomes personal. Don't make it become personal. Just do what you're supposed to do. Some workers are responding to prolonged exposure to harmful working. Sorry. Mm. dealing with workplace issues is personal, but it's not personal. Like, let me see if I can unpack exactly what it is that I mean when I say that. Confronting a situation, addressing a situation is because you have been given an awareness of it. You are aware of a situation. And when you handle that situation in real time in due diligence, then it's resolved in your favor, not in your favor, whatever the case may be. It doesn't linger on you. You've expressed it. You have been vocal about it. It has no more place to take seed in you, to take root in you. But when you don't, it becomes very personal because then disease begin to manifest. So it's personal, but it's not. You're being used. Your faith is being tried. This is why I have to be very diligent and careful about what I put down in these internet streets because none of my work is for you just to kind of pick through and extrapolate for your own well-being or for your own um, situation. You absolutely need guidance. You cannot do this without leadership. You cannot do this. You can do it in faith, but unless I'm in business for this, so unless you find someone that is in business for your health equity, then you're going to go through the situation how I went through it. And you don't have to do that. Sis, you literally can read both of these books and be like, you know what? I'm just going to let the help me because obviously she's been chosen by God. And obviously he has her in a position to help me through this because I don't have to do the same thing when she's already walked through that path. So I'm here just to plant a seed for you. And if you want to take action, I'm here for you. Because not every worker who is breaking down behind the workplace is simply mentally ill. Some workers are actually responding to prolonged exposure to harmful working conditions. Some workers are exhausted from being ignored. Some workers are physically present at work but spiritually checked out. Some workers are still performing while their body is trying to tell them something. That paycheck can't be that important. The only thing that is important is you paying attention to the awareness and focusing on that. That is your holy ground. Everything else is God's business. That's your business so that you are protected to do the things that He is asking and calling you to do. Too many people are being told to calm down when they actually need to wake up, get fired up. I don't want to get too metaphorical, but anger and fire have something in common: focus. Undisciplined anger can burn everything down, everything you work so hard for. But anger submitted to truth, purpose, wisdom, Yahweh, can become passion, clarity. It can become that fire that helps you to stop abandoning yourself. So I want you to think about this. What is happening at work that is taking your focus? What are you tolerating that is changing you? What are you calling just stress that may actually be work fatigue? And what do you want that fire to become? Passion or burnout? Next week, I'll be going live with many workers are afraid to tell the truth about their job because that is where we need to be next. Workers are afraid to tell the truth to their doctors. They're afraid to tell the truth to HR. They are afraid to tell the truth on forums. They're afraid to say that the job is connected to what is happening to their body. And I understand why. Because once you say work is the reason, you may not just be asking for rest, you may be entering the system. And the system don't want to hear you talking about them. That's why workforce care exists. If your job stress has lasted longer than 6 weeks, do not keep guessing. Take the work fatigue quiz. Start paying attention to what your body, mind, spirit, emotions, and ethics are trying to tell you. And if you need language for what you are experiencing, start with the books. Well Done and Operation Mental Health are powerful reads, American literature, that are only available at Glenae's Arts for Life. Operation Mental Health is for the worker trying to understand career burnout, workplace stress, discrimination, the medical system, and recovery. Well Done is for the woman who needs to remember that struggle, survival, purpose, and perseverance can still produce something powerful. These books are only available at Glenae's Arts for Life. I love you, and I mean that. But love does not mean I'm going to let you stay asleep. I'm not going to sedate you, sis. I'm not going to sedate you. Mm-mm. Now I'm responsible for the things that come out my mouth. And at the end of my day, at judgment, I want to hear well done. I want you to hear well done also. Take the quiz, read the books, tell the truth, and start thinking seriously about what you are doing when it comes to the workplace. Have an amazing weekend, people. Drop your comments, share, and like this content.